Hey, this is Louis. Today we're going to be installing our Track Series cold air intake on this Ram 1500 RHO 3.0 twin turbo. Alright, so our first step is going to be removing the nut holding down the engine cover. It's going to be a 13mm socket. Looks something like this. Then we're going to carefully pull up on the cover and remove it. All right, before we proceed to this step, we want to make sure the engine's fully cooled off. This is a coolant line, so it could get very hot if you had your engine running. So what we want to do is we're going to pull back and release the coolant line off these clips. We're going to go ahead and tuck it behind the engine oil fill, and we're good. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to release our MAF sensor harness off our intake tube. So we're going to use a clip popper. It's going to be one clip here, 2, 3, one more over here. That releases the harness. Now we're going to go ahead and remove our MAF sensor harness from the MAF sensor. We're going to unplug it, and then we're going to tuck this in the back here for now. There is a screw back here securing our intake tube. We're going to use a 10mm socket to remove that screw. We're now going to go ahead and loosen these two clamps using an 8mm nut driver. And we're going to go ahead and remove the intake tube by simply pushing back on it and lifting up and away from the engine. So we're going to go ahead and now remove this factory peg. We're going to use a 1/2" wrench. We're going to go ahead and unscrew it. We're going to go ahead and remove the airbox. We're going to go ahead and just simply lift straight up off the grommets and out of the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and transfer our 5 grommets over to our Track Series for its intake housing, as well as our drain plug right here. So let's go ahead, dive into it. And that's what it looks like. All right, so now that our grommets are transferred over, we're gonna go ahead and remove our factory seal trim from the factory airbox, and we're gonna go ahead and install it onto our Track Series airbox. Sure it sits all the way in, and just like that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and install our silicone plug onto the front of our housing. All right, should look something like this. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and install the housing into our vehicle. We wanna make sure we line up the pegs with our grommets, and we're gonna go ahead and firmly push down to lock everything in place. We're gonna go ahead and install our air filter. Go ahead and slide it in. And go ahead and slide it through the opening. And we're gonna make sure the filters lock in place. We're gonna give it a nice little pull, and we're good. We're gonna go ahead and install our clamp. And we're done with this. Now we're gonna go ahead and transfer our MAF sensor. We're gonna use a T20 bits to remove the screws. Go ahead and slide this into our carbon fiber intake tube. We're going to use the provided hardware. We're going to go ahead and transfer over to our carbon fiber tube. We're going to use the provided hardware to secure down, and it's going to be a T20 to lock it into place. All right, so now what we want to do is we're going to transfer over the factory clips that hold our coolant line. We use a clip popper, pop these out, transfer them over to our bracket. We're going to use the provided cable tie holder onto our bracket as well. And it should be something like this. Now we're going to go ahead and install our bracket into the vehicle. We're going to use the provided hardware. We're going to go ahead and screw in our screw here. And we're going to use a 10mm socket or wrench to secure this down. So now we're going to go ahead and install the dowel clamp. We're going to go ahead and put the flat side up against the bracket over the stud. So we're going to go around our oil neck filler. And then we're going to go ahead and secure it with the provided M6 nut. And we're going to go ahead and tighten it up using a 10mm socket. Should be something like that. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and install our peg that we removed earlier. We're going to go ahead and screw that on. We're going to use a 1/2" wrench to tighten it down, just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and pre-install our clamps onto our coupler. We're going to go ahead and slide our coupler onto our turbo inlet. We're going to leave all this loose for now. We're going to use the provided microfiber rag. And what we want to do is we're going to use this to cover our intake tube to prevent us from scratching the tube when we install it. So it'll look something like this. We're going to go ahead and slide it into our coupler first. And then we're going to go ahead and go into our filter. Just like that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and tighten up all the clamps now using the 8mm nut driver. We're gonna go ahead and install our coolant line onto our clips here. And then we're gonna go ahead and put our harness onto the clips we had on here. Onto our clips here. We're going to go ahead and reconnect our MAF sensor, clip it on, and go ahead and push the tab down to secure it. All right, we're going to go ahead and install our engine cover. Want to make sure that we line up this peg to the back grommet there. And then line everything in the front. And then for the front peg, what we want to do is we want to push up on our bracket to secure our peg. Then we're going to go ahead and reinstall our nut and use a 13mm socket to secure it. Our installation is not complete. Let's get some sound clips for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next time.